Hello, welcome everyone. Steve here with TradeForexForProfit.com. Today is Tuesday, January 9th, 2016, and we're looking at the USDJPY on the 4-hour time frame. I opened a sell order, actually put a sell limit order following this horseshoe break pattern that formed right here at broken support. Okay, so a couple of things I want to point out. All right, here, first of all, the first phase of the horseshoe break is, and the first requirement rather, is the bounce and the breakout right here. Okay. Now, what we're looking for after we break through a level, we're looking for a pullback in the market to continue on the momentum to the downside in this case. All right, so here's what happens. We break through, there's the bounce. Okay, this little stall candle creating the horseshoe, could be 1, 2, 3 candles in the pullback, forms a horseshoe, and then the market pushes back down, breaks through the level of the bounce. Okay, and we want to see momentum. All right, in this case, it's 2 candles combined. Typically, we like to see 1 candle. However, in this case, let me explain to you why I took the entry. Because the first candle stopped right at the breakout level. All right, it broke through a little, pulled back, stopped right at the level. The next candle, there was no pullback at all. It pushed straight down. Okay, this wick on this side of on the bottom side of the candle, I see as the beginning of the retrace back up for my entry. Okay. That's how I see that. So when you combine the 2 black candles, you get 1 large breakout. I combined them because I didn't see any movement on this candle back up into this level. I saw straight movement to the downside. All right, here's my pullback. We take the entry on the breakout level with the stop loss order above the pullback. Okay, 2 times profit target. Now there's one other interesting thing that I'd like to show you here on this. This is the 4-hour. I'm going to drop down to the 1-hour. Okay, here's what we have on the 1-hour. Here's your bounce, here's your breakout. We retest, okay, push through, stall out, reject the center band. Okay, this is a break retest combination with center band rejection on the 1-hour time frame. Okay, so if you perhaps did not trade the horseshoe break on the 4-hour, maybe you were looking at the 1-hour and you got this break retest, which might already be in the profit. If not, it's going to be real close. You'd have your stop down here, which would probably, let's actually look at this. Yeah, you'd be out of it right here on this candle. You'd be out of the trade. Okay. Well, anyway, either way, I really like the combining of the candles on the horseshoe break when there's no upward wick, okay, on this candle. All right. Okay, welcome back everyone. The first segment of this video, I know that I told you that it was January 9th. However, it's painfully obvious that it's February 9th. So I apologize. Anyway, today's the 11th of February. The 2 times profit target was taken out on the 10th yesterday. All right, as the market continues to drive forcefully straight off to the downside. So let me talk about this real quick. I'm just going to kind of give you the highlights of the trade and the setup and the psychology. Okay, the bounce. This is a continuation move. Okay, the horseshoe break pattern is a continuation move that follows a breakout. Okay, so you establish a level with the bounce. We return to the level and break through it. Okay, so now the momentum is down. All right, so we're looking for this level, this breakout level, to be checked, or we're looking for a horseshoe break, and those are the continuation moves. Okay, so what happens is the market stalls, it makes a bounce point, creates this bounce, pulls back, forms a horseshoe, and then breaks back through this level with a large body candle, and then continues on its merry way. Okay, now why did I take this trade when this was not a large body candle that broke through? Because I consider this the exception, and that exception is when the first candle closes real close to the level. Okay, almost touched the breakout. The next candle never attempted to move back into this range. If you look, there's no wick on this black candle. It just continued on down. Somewhere near the end of the 4-hour session, the market pulls back, and that this wick I consider to be part of the initial pullback towards the level for my entry anyway. Okay, which is what completes the horseshoe break, is whether or not you can take your entry. Because if this market never pulled back to this level to take my entry, then the whole thing is void. It's no good. It was never a horseshoe break formation, because it didn't take my entry, and it has to pull back and take your entry for the pattern to be complete. And you can see that the stop loss was placed above the pullback. Okay, wherever the height of this pullback was, 5 pips beyond it. That's where I put my stop, 5 pips. I round up, and then I add 5. Okay, that's just my method. You can make it 10 or whatever you want to do. I just don't keep it even with it, because then with the spread, a lot of times it won't quite touch the level, and you'll get taken out. So if you keep it above there by 5 or 10, you're good. Okay, but remember, if you keep it above there 10, then your 2 times profit might not work out without a larger pullback. Okay, now in the horseshoe break pattern case, we just target excuse me, wherever the 2 times lies, based on this setup, the 5 pips and the entry right here. Wherever the 2 times profit target lies, that's where we take our exit, because there's nothing over here on the chart to give us any indication of a level, a logical level to target. Okay, so that's the horseshoe break pattern. It's a continuation move of the breakout, and nothing more. Okay, and you can see the market is continuing to just kind of go sideways and break out, go sideways, break out. And that's a healthy market. It'll retrace, take the stops. That's why I don't trail, because you're going to end up with an offset risk reward in the long run, because some of the 2 times profit trades will end up being losers, and everything gets awry. Okay, so another perfect example of the horseshoe break on the US yen Forex.